Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Antiheroes Anonymous, or welcome for the first time if it's your first time joining us. I'm Ethan, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons show. I will have some announcements and a recap of everything that's been happening in the show. But before all of that, Nick, would you care to kick off some player introductions?
Sure. Hi, I'm Nick. I play Embers of White Ash, the Tabaxi Monk.
Hi, I'm Kay, and I play Lady Elwyn Amalos, the Elvish Druid.
Hello, I'm Melissa. I play Tepes, and she is a pixie bard.
Hi, I'm Zach, and I play Rook, who is a changeling artificer.
So those announcements I talked about, we premiere our episodes on YouTube every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Throughout the show, we use a variety of custom items, as well as a custom lineage, the Pixie, which is Melissa is kindly playing for us. The character portraits, which you'll see all over our layout, were drawn by an artist named Krista Porter, who goes by @KristaPorter with 2 R's on the end on Twitter. If you need a refresher about anything that's going on in our campaign, we have a campaign wiki at World Anvil. You can also check the video description for links and information to everything I just mentioned and more, including some links to Stop Asian Hate and Black Lives Matter resources. Follow us on Twitter at Antiheroes Anon to find out more about what we're doing and when we're doing it. And finally, we just hope that you enjoy the show, share it with your friends, and come back to watch some more. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and roll the intro video. Previously on Antiheroes Anonymous, the Silver Seekers have been investigating a plot by the Dragontooth Brotherhood to restore the ancient dragons on behalf of an Imperial Warden, there we go, named Torin Brenwarham, starting with a caravan raid in a few days' time. The plot starts with, I got myself all turned around. Anyways, the Dragontooth Brotherhood's plot starts with a caravan raid in a few days' time. The Silver Seekers' best lead at the moment is the theft of a shipment of dragon's breath, masterminded by the same UNT woman who ambushed Torin the previous night. They've traced the stolen case to a warehouse and managed to recover it after a short fight, but rather than get away clean, they've decided to stand their ground in hopes of finding the UNT woman and getting more answers out of her. And so that's where we're picking up tonight, right in the middle of combat. I will set the scene for you again. The group of you found the warehouse that the Dragontooth Brotherhood are using as their base of operations, or at least one of their bases of operations within Port Horizon Shroud. You nearly managed to sneakily climb up onto the roof undetected, but unfortunately your Imperial Warden friend Torin Brenwarham was not quite stealthy enough, and his armor clanked against the wall of the building as he was climbing up, drawing the attention of the guards. Through a clever use of a sleep spell, however, the group of you managed to buy a few minutes within an office space in the warehouse, which you accessed by climbing down a chimney. However, it seems that you triggered a sort of magical rug trap and also drew the ire of a snake with 100 mage hands, which was guarding the case of dragon's breath. And now you have barricaded yourselves in the office using Elwyn's shape water spell to sort of freeze the lock and handle in place, as well as using Torin's raw bulk as kind of a blockage against the door. Rook is currently standing over to the side with a crossbow trained on the door, waiting for enemies to come bursting in. And it seems like that very thing might happen any moment, as we are starting with one of those enemies' turn. So, those of you who are clustered by the windows of the room, which is Elwyn and Torin, you can probably out of the window catch a glimpse of the figure that is on the other side of the door. And I'll reveal that on the map in just a moment. Zach, by the way, if you want to switch to the map, that'd be great.
Yep,
If
I
you
have it
hadn't
up.
already. Great. What was I saying? Right. The figure on the other side of the door is essentially, it looks to be, you think initially maybe they're a dragonborn, but upon closer look, you can see that it is actually probably the biggest kobold you have seen. This kobold stands at maybe, I don't know, like 5 feet tall, which is a significant height improvement over most kobolds, and has much more muscle than others that you've seen, augmented by kind of scraps of various metal plates to serve as armor. This hulking kobold basically takes a running step backward and tries to slam into the door.
This is unusual.
This is unusual. First of all, let me reveal a little bit of the map that you can kind of see through the windows. And then I will take this kobold's turn. Let's see. Reveal areas. You can probably see just about all of that through the windows. You can also see that one of these, so there's a couple Dragontooth Brotherhood guards that are out there as well. And you can see that one of them has a mangy creature kind of by the scruff of its neck. It looks like kind of a cross between a hairless cat, a rat, a lizard, and maybe a few other things that are a little bit difficult to determine. And it is both of those are, or that they're holding that in their hand essentially. I can also, since I learned how to do this,
I was just going to ask you to do that.
already forgotten how to show you the token.
So for people who don't have the visuals, how many and what? We're seeing one hulking kobold.
One hulking kobold who is on your screen at the moment.
Yeah.
Out the window, you see probably 3 Dragontooth Brotherhood guards kind of standing behind the kobold. And then
Who
one
are
of
just
them,
humanoids.
yes, one of them is holding this mangy looking rat, hairless cat lizard creature in one hand, and that creature is starting to make a bit of a fuss. And that kobold basically, like I said, rears back and slams up against the door. So Elwyn, what is your spell save DC?
It's not very high. I think it's 13. Yeah.
Okay.
13.
So this kobold slams against the door, and you watch as the ice that you put in place cracks. So now we just have to see if Torin is able to hold the door or whether it comes barreling in. Yeah. Unfortunately, this creature slams into the door, and the door kind of cracks in half, leaving the frame exposed, and all of you find yourself face to face with this large kobold.
Oh, no.
Right. Then it is Ember's turn.
Do I get to shoot this
Oh,
kobold?
you would, yes, because the door has been broken down.
Haha.
Good reminder.
Does a 12 hit the kobold?
Let's see. No, it basically, the bolt flies towards it and then pings off one of these scraps of metal armor that it has attached to its body.
Cool.
Okay, now it is Ember's.
Okay. If I go down to stand right next to where Elwyn is. Can
Yep.
I? Okay, yeah. Then I'm gonna make. I'm gonna make two. Yeah, 2 attacks. These are bad. Is it 14 hit?
A 14 just does it.
Oh,
Okay, so the other one misses. Let's see, and that is 7 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. You punch into this kobold, kind of getting between the metal plates, and your fist sinks into its dense, scaly bulk. And it just feels like you're punching into a wall, and it just kind of looks at you and grunts at you. And then, yeah, takes the damage.
That's all I can do on my turn.
Okay. Then it is Elwyn.
I'm not ready for this. All right. I hold on. I'm juggling windows on my computer and trying to figure out. Okay, I am going to kind of panic a little bit, and I'm going to cast Entangle,
Oh, cool.
which is a 20-foot square starting from a point within range. So,
Yeah, you
I
can
think
draw
if
that.
I
on-
put it, yeah, there we go. Yes. I think if I put it like here,
Uh-huh.
20-foot square.
Yep.
So basically what happens is Elwyn kind of takes half a step back in shock as the giant kobold breaks through, and she throws both of her hands in front of her, and the floor, like from her fingers, like there's like a wave of ice shards and snowflakes, and it covers and coats the floor in front of her. And from the floor, the ice kind of creeps and wraps its way up the legs of everyone and tries to freeze them in place, basically.
It's kind of icy tendrils. What kind of save do they have to make?
It's a strength saving throw.
Okay. Let's start with the Brotherhood guys. Let's see, there's 3 of them. Good old +0 to strength. Failure. 14
That passes.
and 2. So failure. 2 failures for them. Do you have
Yay.
any preference which ones of those 3 you'd like to restrain?
Maybe the 2 in the middle of the group.
So yeah, those front 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's restrain those 2. Cool. And then I will make a save for this strange rodent cat creature. See what happens with it. That's also a failure, so it's restrained
Nice.
because it has a -2 and I rolled a 9. And then this large kobold, which we will refer to by its name, it is a swollbold.
No, it
something that you
isn't.
made,
I didn't
or is
name this
that-
creature.
It's actually a thing.
It's a kobold press creature.
That's
Again.
amazing.
No.
14.
Swole?
Yeah.
Oh, so close.
So this
Yeah, that
swollbold passes the save, and
Like
it just kind of
something Tuppence
roar-
said to it.
roars in your face as these tendrils grasp at it.
The ones that failed are restrained.
hmm
And the ones that passed are not restrained, but the area is still difficult terrain for everyone.
Oh,
Who
okay,
enters
that's
it.
cool. Okay, remind me of that if I forget, but I will try and bear
Okay.
that in mind.
That's why the square's there. It's difficult terrain.
After you cast your spell, can you roll for me?
I'm
A
not a wild
D6?
magic sorcerer.
I know you're not, but I need
thought
a
about that. I was like, oh, I have to roll for wild magic.
I need a
No, I
D6
don't.
roll.
Okay. 4.
4. Oh, that's so useless. Okay. You watch as some of that magic that you cast out and cause the floor to become icy. Some of the magic seems to gather around this strange rodent-like creature and absorb into it.
Okay.
And it's just, as it does so, it just kind of lets out this.
Okay.
Yeah, something happens there, but it's unclear what.
Great. Then I. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do I risk it? Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna run away.
Okay.
Run away.
The
I'm intent to
Swobold
run
will
away.
try to grab you
Yep.
since it still has its reaction.
Grab me or attack me?
Well, I guess I will find out. Does a 12 hit?
12 is my AC.
Okay, so it does hit. This is going to be a little bit painful. Actually,
dear.
it's not that bad. 9 points of bludgeoning
Ooh.
damage as these thick arms reach out and grab you and pull you into it, and you're
no.
grappled.
Oh
Alright.
no. So you just hear her squeal.
Uh-oh.
Mm-mm.
And she's looking real rough, you guys. Like almost passed out rough.
Wow.
That's my turn.
This guy was guarding the door for a reason. Right. Then it is Tuppence.
How far away is Tuppence from Ellen?
Tuppence is kind of on the other side of the room.
Yeah, I don't
Let's
really want to
measure here.
move. It's far.
You're currently 65
Okay.
feet from Elwyn, so you could get closer and
All
still
right.
be plenty far away from the actual battle.
Okay, so I think I'll move right about there and around. And I'll cast Healing Word on Ellen.
Thank you.
Okay, 1d4. Do I roll it or does she roll it?
You can roll it
Okay.
because it's your wisdom modifier that you add to
Alright.
it, or
She
charisma
gets
rather.
6 HP back.
Nice.
Whew, that helps. Thank you.
So that's your bonus action. Anything for your action?
Okay. So then, well, I might as well use. I think I moved most of my movement. Let's see. So let's see. 30 feet. 2, 3, 4, 6. I can't decide which one I want to do. Okay. I'm going to cast, since it's 60 feet, Dissonant Whispers on the big Swobold
On
color.
the Swobold. Okay.
I think it's got to be a cantrip.
It
'Cause
has
you've
to
already-
be, yeah, you used your
That
bonus
is
action
true.
to cast Healing Word, so you have to cast
Okay.
a cantrip or.
All right, Vicious Mockery then.
So that's a wisdom
Oh.
save, is it?
Mhm.
Not the Swobold's best. An 11.
Hey, he fails. Okay,
Okay.
so she will say, I'm glad you're tall. More of you to despise. And he gets 3 psychic damage. I don't add anything to that. No modifier, right? Just straight. Okay. So 3 psychic damage, and he's disadvantage on the next attack roll.
That's really good for
It
you.
is really good.
Or should I say really good for Elwyn?
Yeah.
Okay. These Dragontooth Brotherhood cultists, then, the one of them that's holding the cat-like creature is going to use its action to try and break the restrain on that creature. So let's try that. What do they need to do to break the restrain?
Yes. I believe you just have to beat my DC.
With another strength save?
Yes, a strength check, not a strength save.
Okay. Well,
Strength check against my DC.
12 then.
That is a failure.
Okay, so this cultist tries to get the break the bonds that are holding this strange creature, but they're unable to release it from the bonds. I guess this one is
Reminder on restrained rules, you have advantage to attack them.
that's a good point. The other restrained cultist rolls a 15 to try and break the bonds.
That's pass.
Okay, so that cultist manages to break free and comes over towards the side of the door next to the swobold, so that he is basically staring through a window at Embers. And Embers, you can see he's getting ready to bash the window in with the butt of his scimitar. But for the moment, he doesn't have an action, so that's his turn. And then there's one more of these cultists who I think will move to do the same thing on the window next to Torin. This one has an action, so he basically takes the scimitar and smashes it through the window, spraying glass across the floor of the room. But that is his action, since he's created an opening there. Then it is Rook.
He had enough movement to do that, right? To go over there with difficult terrain?
Yes,
Okay.
because he had 30 and he had to move 3 spaces.
Okay,
So
Hey, so I hate being a rules lawyer, but
what did I do wrong?
No, I needed to make a concentration check because I got attacked after casting Entangle and I rolled a 1. So, this is just how today's been going for me.
Okay.
None of your whoever wasted their turn trying to break free and couldn't, they're all free now.
That's really unfortunate. Okay. Well, and it's not difficult terrain there anymore?
It's not. I am getting rid of the thing right now.
I got you. Okay, then in that case, 2 of them smash in windows, and the other one hurls this creature inside, and it just goes rolling across the floor at Torin's feet. So that's their actual turn. Then it is Rook's turn.
Do I know what this creature is?
You could make a quick Arcana check if you want.
Okay, does that take my turn?
No, probably not. It'll just be difficult because it's kind of in the heat of the moment.
17.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, that's really good.
You've never seen this specific creature, but you know that it hails from sort of that area north of here where the Spellscar Desert is. I don't think you would recall what it's called per se, but you know that they have weird reactions to magic.
Okay.
Yep.
I wonder if it has weird reactions to crossbows too. Let's find out. I will shoot it. Oh, that's pretty good. That is a dirty 20 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
And that is 3 damage.
Blink. The crossbow kind of grazes its side and it looks over in your direction and just hisses at you.
Otherwise, I don't have a bonus action I want to do, so I guess that might be it.
Okay. Then it is the rodent, cat, lizard creature's turn. And I guess since Rook just shot at it, it will run over in Rook's direction. Let me make sure it has enough speed. Yep, it does. 10, 15, 20. Torin will take a swipe at it with his sword as it runs away. Torin, whose stats have been updated but can't roll higher than a 3, misses. And then this creature tries to bite into Rook.
Okay.
And I just threw my dice across the room, so I'll use my other dice. That's only a 5, so a miss.
All right.
6 actually, but still. Okay. Torin's turn. Torin sees that Elwyn is in the grasp of the Swobold, realizes he should have used his reaction to impose disadvantage with his shield when the Swobold attacked Elwyn, regrets that, and will now attack the Swobold with 2 swings. So that's a 9 and a 14, which is enough. So one of those hits for 7 points of damage. And he shouts basically like really loud in Elwyn's ear, "Let go of my friend!"
Listen to the man, please.
You take a point of thunder damage. No.
No. Oh man, that would have knocked me out if I hadn't been healed.
He only had 1 HP left? Oh, shoot.
Yeah,
Okay.
I only had 1 HP left.
The Swobold will attempt to crush Elwyn.
At disadvantage on his attack.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
I was just about to say that actually, but thank you.
Bad
All
news,
on Elwyn's side here.
the bad news is it doesn't make an attack according to this.
Oh, really?
Elwyn, can you make a strength saving throw?
Sure, because those are something I'm real good at.
Yeah, Elwyn, you're gonna go unconscious.
Oh, no.
Well, I have more than 1 HP right now, but not that much more.
Do you have more than 10?
Oh,
Nope.
gosh.
Yeah, you're unconscious.
Oh, no.
And Torin just bellows, "No!" And the large kobold drops Elwyn to the floor, unconscious. And then I think we'll step into the room, kind of over Elwyn's body. I'm going to actually just move Elwyn for sake of the map, though. Elwyn, it's your turn. No, it's not. It's Embers.
Yeah. I think we need to I think Embers looks Torin in the eye as like we need to take this guy down now and starts laying into the Swobold. Please let me roll better than I have. Oh, I'm not. 1 hit again.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
For another 7. Why can't I roll anything but a 2 on die?
Seven's pretty good, though.
7's good.
So all of the repeated blows from the sword, I think, and from Elwyn's fists, as well as a little bit of like a nosebleed from the psychic damage from Tuppence, it's really starting to show wear and tear, this creature. Anything else from Embers?
I'm staying where I am so I can get my good movement back.
Okay, then it is Elwyn, and you know what you got to do.
Heavy sigh. I don't trust any of my dice right now. Yeah, look. Okay, that was a 15.
Okay,
Nice.
you had me worried. So that's 1 success. That's great.
Yes, yes.
Tuppence.
Boy. That creature is right there. Okay. Creature, I'm going to throw a dart at the creature.
The weird cat, lizard,
Yeah.
rat thing? Yeah, okay.
If I can get my right dice out. What is it? Okay, so that is a 15.
Yeah, that'll hit.
So that's 5 piercing damage.
Ooh, that dart pierces into its side, and it seems to puncture something vital because the creature like falls over onto its side and barely manages to get back up after
Oh,
that.
wow.
Okay.
Alright.
Nice shot.
Anything else from
And
Tuppence?
Yes, for a bonus action, I'm going to cast Bardic Inspiration on Torin and say, "Come on, Torin, get that swole thing. It's really creepy and scary."
Okay. I will keep that in mind. Next up, though, it is the Brotherhood Cultists. And they are going to... Well, let me check something about Torin real quick. Oh, I see. Okay. Right. One of them, the two that are outside the windows, will attempt to attack at Torin and Embers. And this second one, who threw the creature into the room, will make its way back towards the door behind the large kobold and attempt to attack Torin. So I'll remind myself of Torin's AC. Got it. All right. So one cultist attack with a scimitar against Embers. And that's not going to hit. Only an 8.
Embers is barely even looking. All of her attention is on the thing. She just like instinctively ducks away from the blow.
That's cool. The one that'll hit Torin with a 21. And then the second one with a natural 20 against Torin. This is great.
No.
So Torin will take 4 points of slashing damage from one scimitar. And then, wow. Oh my gosh. Max damage on the crit. So 13 points of slashing damage for a total of 17. Torin's looking rough.
Crittles, taste the pain bow.
Yep. Rook.
Okay. I think you have disadvantage if you shoot something in melee range, right?
Yes, you would.
So I can I
In
do
fact,
that?
we did this wrong the entire first campaign. I found out you have disadvantage if you shoot while you have something in melee range with you.
Oh, so if I just
So,
shoot
like
it all.
even if you shoot beyond it.
Hmm.
I think someone checked me on that, but I think I
That
learned
that
recently that
sounds
I've been
wrong.
doing it wrong.
That sounds wrong, but I'll check.
In either case, it would apply to this creature.
Yeah, if that's true, then I need to step back and shoot. Otherwise, I'm going to shoot at the large kobold. Because I don't have a melee weapon, so
Okay, well then maybe it is important that we check
it
this
is a
real
little
quick.
important, yes.
On it.
No, you're right. Yeah, if there's a hostile creature within 5 feet of you and isn't incapacitated, you gain disadvantage on the attack roll. If you...
Yeah. I found that out recently and it blew my mind because I've always thought it was the other way.
Mind-blowing. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay. Well, then I am going to step away from the weird cat creature.
Okay. It will try to bite, but it does so poorly and misses.
Okay. So I will move myself over here. And I think I'm still going to shoot this swole bold. Because that thing is a menace right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that is good. That is a 14.
That's just what you needed.
All right. And that is pretty good too. That's 6. 6 damage.
Okay. Yeah, this thing is this kobold is definitely approaching its limit.
Torin,
I
do
wish
something.
I had a bonus action.
How high is Tuppence flying right now above the ground? Melissa?
You're muted.
How high is the ceiling?
Maybe like 10 feet total?
Yeah, so I'd be right up.
Right up
Right
by
up
the
to the
ceiling. Okay.
Oh,
You can see this like mangy creature looks up at you and its eyes kind of follow you as if it wants to jump for you. But I think you're probably too high to reach it, so it will again chase after Rook there.
actually, can I move a little differently
Sure.
before we,
I'll-
okay, so,
I'll move it
sorry, I
back.
just realized something. So I was here,
Mhm.
I think he was 1 square lower, right? So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna actually move here.
Okay.
And
Well, it can still chase you, so it will.
and we decided that using a item on somebody else is an action, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I will ready a potion of healing for my next turn for Elwyn.
This mangy creature then will try to chomp at you while you're doing that, but it's another miss. The mangy creature can't roll above a 10. So
Good.
Good.
I don't want whatever it has. I
Yep.
hope it keeps missing.
Torin Brenworm, this is the turn.
Please.
Come on, Torin.
Bardic Inspiration. Show your worth.
Let's see.
You said you could put up well in a fight, Torin.
Torin is going to use his bonus action to second wind, kind of regain a little bit of vitality, regaining 10 hit points.
Yeah, there
Ooh,
you go. That's a good
lot.
ability.
And then we'll do 2 longsword attacks. That's a hit. And that's another hit.
Yes.
Yeah.
For 14 points of damage. And it is just surviving.
No, no way.
Yep.
That's
It's
so much HP.
But what Torin is then going to do is he's going to move around the room towards Embers in case this creature tries to grab at Embers so that he can impose disadvantage with his shield.
Thank you.
And I'm going to roll. Nick, would you like odd or even? Because it's the Swobold's turn next.
I like odds.
Okay, so odds it's Embers, even it's Torin. It is odd. So it lunges for Embers, but Torin puts his shield in front, imposing disadvantage on this creature's attack. Wow. Yeah, that's going to be a miss, I believe, with a 10.
Yeah, I misses.
So yeah, Torin manages to basically like shove his shield in between you and the massive kobold, and he says, "Embers, now's the time!" And then he pulls it back, and it is your turn.
You're muted.
I'll spring out from behind the shield. And, ooh, that's going to be a hit. Let's see. It's a 24 to hit.
Yeah, that's a hit.
I rolled higher than 2, I rolled a 3. So that's 8 damage of non-lethal bludgeoning.
That is exactly what you needed.
Sweet.
This kobold falls unconscious in the doorway.
Uh,
And
bonus
Torin just
action.
says, "Good job!"
Bonus action, I'm going to hit to my left the cultist through the window that was
Nice.
just trying to attack me. That is a 15 to hit.
I believe that hits. Let me check. Yep. Easy hit.
Right. 9 damage, max.
That's
Nice
exactly what you
job.
needed. They have
Oh,
9 health.
Nice job, Embers. MVP.
Yeah, that's not non-lethal bludgeoning again.
You punch that cultist in the face, and he just falls back unconscious. That was a really good turn.
That was really good.
Yeah. 2 trophies.
Elwyn.
I'll save you in a second, Owen. Hold on.
Nope. Unless
be
I
fine,
roll
you'll
a
be
natural
fine.
one.
No, you'll still be okay. You'll still be okay.
Okay.
Just roll a 20.
I'm gonna stick with this one because this one was good to me last time. Please. 18.
What was it? I heard teen,
18.
so yeah, you're
18.
great.
18.
Tuppence.
Okay. So we've got the creature still in the room.
Mm-hmm. It's basically like chomping at Rook's heels.
And it reacts weird to magic. So let's how many darts do I have left? I think I've got about 4 left. So I'll throw another dart.
Okay.
Oh, that's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, that'll hit.
Sweet.
Okay, come on. 3 plus, let's see, what does it add? 2, so it's 5 piercing.
Do you throw to harm or throw to like knock unconscious?
That thing,
Yeah.
harm.
Honestly, put it out of its misery.
Oh.
Yeah, you get the creature kind of like right in the side, and it falls to the ground, stops moving.
Okay, is the
I shot
weirdest thing.
tuppence.
Then the cultists, let's see if this one can get there this turn. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Some cats.
You see another one come running towards the door and can make it into the room, but can't really do anything with his turn. These other two, now that the large kobold is out of the way, will try to come into the room. I'm just going to move the kobold just so that I can actually see what's going on here. Same with Elwyn. Sorry, Elwyn's just getting kind of pushed. Rook, you're still next to her, so that's fine. Yeah, these other two are going to come into the room. And both make attacks against Torin and Embers, who seem to be the biggest threats right now. So here's the one against Embers. That's a 15.
This is
And against Torin, that's a 13. So 2 misses. Basically, Embers, you duck and dodge out of the way, but Torin takes the opposite approach. He just throws himself and his shield at the blow, and it just glances off the armor. So that's the cultists. Rook.
Okay, I will give Elwyn a healing potion for my action. So let me knock that off of my. There we go, out of my pouch. And it's 2d4 plus 2, is that right?
Yep, for a
Yep.
basic healing potion.
All right, let me roll that. Come on, big numbers, big numbers. 5.
It's better than nothing.
That's better than nothing. Better than 4,
Better than
which is
dead.
the minimum, so, you know, that's okay. Yep. So that's my action. Yeah, I think that's what I can do. So I don't want to move away. Done.
Okay. Then strange creature is gone, so it's Torin's turn. Torin will see what he can do to make short work of these cultists. With the 2 longsword attacks. That's a 12, which hits, and not as good,
Oh,
which misses.
Does he has Bardic Inspiration though?
Oh, he does. Let me see
Oh, I
what he
didn't know
had.
if
So
you
he had
used it or not.
7.
Sweet.
not yet.
He can try and use it here. He'll try. Oh, it's a 6 on the dice. So yeah, 2 hits.
Yeah. Yes.
Nice.
All
Thanks
coming
for the
together.
reminder about the Bardic
I
Inspiration.
was worried. Really.
So yeah, one of these cultists drops.
All right.
And kind of taking a hint from Embers, he basically hits once with like the blade itself, and while the cultist is reeling, he bashes with the shield and knocks out the cultist rather than killing them. Swobold is snoozing. Embers.
I think Rook would shout out to Torin and say, "Torin, block for Elwyn while she gets up."
Oh yeah, so he'll move into that space. Hold on, just juggle some dead bodies around here. There we go. Yeah, he'll move into a position where he
Rude.
can block for Embers or block for Elwyn. In fact, he'll have to take an opportunity attack to get there,
He
but
could just
it
move.
misses.
Okay.
He thinks that Embers probably has this
Oh, sure.
cultist by the door covered, so he wants to go to the one that is unchecked.
Speaking of covering it, I'll make an attack. You said 12. You said 12 hits.
12 does hit these
All right,
cultists. Yep.
That's what I rolled. It's a 12. For 7 damage.
Okay, still standing.
Okay, I'll attack again then. That one is a hit, 14 to hit, and 6 damage for non-lethal bludgeoning.
So this one gets knocked unconscious as well,
Man, Ember's so good.
leaving one cultist
yeah.
in the room.
And then Embers is going to use her movement to go behind the window where that cultist just went through, and like whisper to him from behind, "I suggest you give up."
Nice. Yeah, would you roll an intimidation check and
Sure,
take
I will be
advantage?
happy to do that.
Take advantage.
Okay. Let's see. That's a 17 turns into a 15.
Okay.
-2.
I mean,
Yeah,
15 is still
this
pretty good.
That's really
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
the cultist
Could have been a 3.
shouts as you get behind them and kind of throws up their hands. Says, okay, oh, okay, I surrender.
All right. Are we off initiative or there's more coming?
Well, that's Ember's turn. Elwyn, you've just woken up. We'll keep initiative for a little bit longer. Anything you'd like to do, Elwyn?
I think I will. Take a look around and see if there's anyone else coming. See if I can hear anyone else coming.
Actually, that's a good point because I should reveal a bit more since Embers is now outside the room. So Embers would actually have a little bit of a view of this. And also, Elwyn, if you're peeking around, you'll see as well. So I think there's a lot in your line of sight here. Embers, let me just finish revealing it.
This area is all lit, right? This isn't like the dark office. we came
Yeah,
out
this
of?
warehouse
Oh
is
my
all
gosh.
lit, so that's why I'm illuminating everything. You can see that
There's a
there
lot of
is
stuff down
a
there.
cultist running across these like metal walkways that kind of run through the warehouse. That is otherwise just like a large open space. But the cultist is still quite a ways away from you.
Okay. I guess then I will turn around to the others and say, I think we should probably take this one and get the heck out of here. And I'm going to I'll use my action to cast Shape Water and create ice handcuffs on the
Oh,
person.
cool. Okay.
Water bending.
Yeah. There you
Yeah,
go.
he just like holds out his hands because they're out in surrender.
Yeah,
and
so I'll
the
just basically be like,
handcuffs.
I think we better take this one and get out. Who knows how much
What are you
else
gonna
is
do
in
with me?
here? You hush.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Okay. Tuppence?
Okay, I guess I'll hold an action in case there are further surprise. And I'll cast Vicious Mockery.
Okay, if anyone else comes and appears.
Yeah, out of a hidden space or anything.
Okay. Not really knowing what's going on in the room, this cultist on the rafter area to the south keeps running. 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, but doesn't quite make it to the stairs. And then another one would run into Ember's view from over here. Oops. 15, 20, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, but is still quite a ways away.
Are they like weapons drawn, like coming out?
Yeah,
of the...
pretty much. Yeah, those two are.
Okay.
Rook.
All right. Can Rook see these other ones? Oops. Off of the...
No, because Rook is in the room.
Okay.
So you'd have to kind of exit the room to see them.
So not knowing there's others, I guess I wouldn't do that. What would I do then? Elwyn said we should get out of here, so I guess Rook would look back towards the treasure hoard, where the suitcase is. And
Ember's grabbed the case, actually.
she has the
She's
case.
she's holding it still.
Did you check to see if it had something inside it still?
Not yet. I can do that on my turn.
Well, there's our payment there too. Let's see. I mean, maybe Rook would look outside to see if there's others.
It's up to you.
Yeah, I think Rook will take a step outside and then see the other two running towards him with weapons drawn and shout out to them and say, You two should surrender. We've already incapacitated your friends.
Roll an intimidation check.
Okay. Oh, shoot. That is a 23.
A 23. Okay. Yeah. It seems like
He like trains his crossbow on the one in the upstairs.
yeah, it seems like these two, you can, I mean, you only really have a good view of this one that's in kind of like the upper graded walkway area, since the other one is kind of a little blocked by crates and things, though you can tell that they're running this direction. The one that you can see, it seems like finally takes a look at the situation down below, or finally gets a good look at the situation down below and can see all of the unconscious bodies, including the Swobold, who this person knew to be a tough adversary. And yeah, it seems like they are daunted. What they do will happen on their turn, but it seems like that had an effect. Torin will just say, well, are we getting out of here? Through the front door or back up the chimney?
At this rate, probably the front door if they give up.
Where's the snake woman?
I don't know if
Torin.
she's actually... Well, she might be here.
You haven't seen her yet if she is.
Yeah.
Torin says, that's a good question, but if she's not here, what do we do? Do we stick around and wait for her? We'd have to take care of these two if we did.
These two might be willing to talk.
She would know the most about the plan, I think.
Torin gestures towards Rook and says, didn't Mr. Rook find a notebook? Perhaps there's something in there. Maybe
Haven't
it's not
really
a
had
loss,
time to
even
read
if
it,
she's not
Torin,
here.
but I certainly will.
I think hearing that, Embers would look to Rook for direction.
Okay. I'd say we collect what we need to here and head out.
Embers nods.
Okay. Eventually, when it gets back around to these cultists' turn, it seems like they take a look at the situation, kind of give each other a glance across the room, and begin backing away.
So if they start backing away, then Rook trains his crossbow on their friends and say, if you care for their lives, you come down here right now and surrender
Oh,
your
boy.
weapons.
Okay, then yeah, that's what they'll do. Your intimidate check was really good.
Okay. So then he asks Elwyn if she can fashion more handcuffs.
Happily.
Can you have multiple shape water effects in place at once? I'm not sure if the spell says, but some do.
Let me check. I think I can have no more than 2 of its non-instantaneous effects active at a time. So
How large of an object can you make? Can you make one that's fashioned for multiple people? Like
it needs to fit within a 5-foot cube. So I could make like a
I think in this case you're also
3-person
limited
block.
by what you have in your water skin, because
That's
there's
also
no
true.
real body of water.
Yeah.
Unless you go like melt some of the ice in this corner over here,
I
where
mean,
there's
if we
a
just have 'em,
cage
like,
of icy
know,
creatures.
on the ground.
Well, we have rope. You guys could tie them up with rope.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that too.
I mean, you don't need my fancy handcuffs for everything.
So I can produce some rope from my pack and hand it to Torin and say, I think you know what to do with these 3.
He says, that I do. We tie them up and take them to the wardens.
Nods.
And he basically starts tying them up and effectively like reading them their rights as he kind of sets them in a huddle in the corner over here.
Okay. Yeah, and while he's doing that, Rook will gesture to Embers with the suitcase. Like we should probably check this.
Yeah, Embers will like crack it open and look inside.
And Rook
Okay.
will look too.
There's sort of like a foamy packaging material that kind of creates a shaped space within there to hold 6 metal spheres in place, or at least there should be 6 metal spheres. There
shoot.
are 4 within the case
No.
and 2 empty spots.
Rook will investigate the little hoard of treasure to see if they're over there. Maybe it was opened and it fell out or something.
Okay. Make a quick investigation check.
Sure.
Tempest will go with and
Oh.
loot it.
Yeah, let's take it's our payment. So let's take it. Are
Worst
you helping
case, I
me
can
investigate,
always-
or are you just grabbing everything with your muscular arms?
Mage hand. To stuff it in my backpack.
Well, not much will fit in Tuppence's backpack, but maybe a few coins.
I'll offer Rook's satchel and be like, this is probably more suitable than what you're carrying. So yeah, I guess if it's just me, then I got a 10.
10, you say.
I say.
You don't find any signs of the other 2 metallic spheres that were nestled within the case, but you do spot a number of like mixed coins. There's like a bunch. There's a ton of copper pieces, a pretty good chunk of silver pieces, and there's also a fair number of gold pieces mixed in as well. There's also some items that look like they might be of value, like jewelry and works of art and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely looks like there's some good things in this hoard here if you want to like scoop it up.
I want to scoop it up.
All right. It will probably take a more thorough investigation to reveal what everything in there is, but
Sure. For now, we can just grab it.
Embers is just gonna take the case, shut the case again, and leave the warehouse.
okay. Torin basically comes out after you with a rope train of these 3 cultists. And while the 2 of you are out there, he just says, and we could probably leave the map at this point, Zach, if you want to close it.
Sure. Yeah.
Unless you guys stick around for too much longer, because then stuff might happen. But Torin comes out to where Embers is with this rope train of cultists and says, "We did good in there. I think with these 3, and he probably also would have roped up the unconscious ones and woken them up by like splashing water in their face as well. So I think he has a total of like 6 cultists in tow.
Nice.
With these ne'er-do-wells in captivity, I think we certainly have the proof we need to bring this to the Imperial Wardens. I'll go directly to there. Will you return to your lodgings? Perhaps I can meet you there to let you know how the case is received by my superiors.
Why are we? Can we not wait just like a minute for Tuppence or for Elwyn or somebody?
I'm there. I'm with you guys.
Okay.
Oh, you come
Yeah.
out with Torin as well?
Yeah, I'd be sticking with the prisoners.
Yeah. I think that like Embers is just like giving Elwyn like a pleading look. It's like, I don't know how to talk to people. Can you please can you like scare these people straight or something?
I will put a reassuring hand on Embers' forearm, and I'll kind of step up to Torin and say, "Now I don't think it's a bad idea for you to take them in as proof. I think that's great. But do you mind if I try to talk to them first before you take them away? I think they might have some information they might be willing to share."
Certainly. Ms. Elwyn, if you would like to have a conversation with these hooligans, then have at it. I'd say that everyone here has earned the right to speak with them before they're brought in to my superiors for questioning.
I'm gonna look at the three who are still conscious.
Yep. Well, he would have had
Which-
to wake them all up because he can't really just
Okay.
drag around a bunch of unconscious people. But
All right, I'll look at the group and I want to pick out the one who seems the most uncertain about their situation, or the most like timid or like regretful, if that makes sense,
okay,
of the group.
roll an insight check.
Okay. It's a 12.
12.
That's not great.
They all have looks of, emotion that could read as regret, or it could just be worry or concern for their current situation. Which one seems the most regretful of their actions is a bit hard to determine.
Well, all right. I will just pick one that's in the front then and cast Charm Person
Oh, okay.
on that person.
Kind of save.
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay,
Wisdom.
let's take a look. Not a strong suit. 10.
Yes.
So yeah, you feel the spell take effect.
So I'm going to are they sitting or are they standing?
They're probably sitting and waiting for you guys to finish your business in the warehouse before they are marched away.
Just like cross-legged on the floor type thing.
Yeah, all tied up.
All right, then I'm going to do the Elwyn special. I'm going to kneel down next to this one and I'm going to kind of look at their face very sympathetically. Be like, hi, my name is Elwyn. May I ask yours?
Hi, I'm Jeff
Yeah.
with a G.
Of course it's with a G. Yeah, that is a lovely name. Thank you so
Is
much
it?
for telling me.
I always kind of hated it, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Why
Well,
didn't you,
is
my
there
parents
something
just
you'd-
spell it with a J?
Is there something you'd rather be called?
No, Jeff is fine.
Well, Jeff with the J or Jeff with the G. Either way, it's lovely.
Kind of like
Now-
rubs his head a little bit.
How long have you been mixed up in this business, Jeff? You know, if I may say so, and I know we've only just met, but this doesn't seem like something that would be a good idea for you. I can tell. You're meant for much greater things than some dirty old organization like this.
Well, that's kind of you to say, but not many people are looking to pay. I don't know, people the likes of me. I'm not very smart, not very strong.
Oh, you shouldn't be so hard on yourself, Jeff. I'm sure that there's something in this town that's perfect fit for you. But tell me, how long have you been working with these people?
I don't know, a couple years. They pay real well for not a lot of work most of the time.
Is that the draw for you then? Just the coin?
Kind of nods. I mean, yeah, pretty much. Like I said, I'm not real smart. I'm not real strong. Not real. A lot of people willing to employ me, I guess. I don't know.
Oh,
Seemed like easy
what do
money.
you think about this? What do you think about this whole business about the ancient dragons or whatever it is they're trying to do?
He kind of shakes his head and says, "Well, I don't know much of anything about that. They don't tell us much of that. I mean, Scorch and I forgot her name. Where'd it go? Scorch and Kashura don't really disseminate too much information about the bigger plans. We're really just, boots on the ground."
So you're just what? Extra security? Hired help?
Kind of nods. Yeah.
They don't even trust you to be part of the Brotherhood proper?
Well, no, we're all members here. It's just
Are you? I raise my eyebrows.
he nods his head. He says, "We are, or we were, probably not anymore. Now that we've been caught. I
Well,
don't expect they'd bust us out of jail."
I don't know much about anything, especially not about brotherhoods, but this doesn't seem very much like a welcoming institution, especially if they don't tell all their members their plans. It doesn't feel like they
Normally, it's
trust you
not too
very
bad.
much.
They pay us for pretty easy work. We don't have to deal with tough ones like you all that often. And usually when we do, points to the kobold, he takes care of them for us. I guess the kobold would be roped up too.
Well,
Torin probably also had like a pair of handcuffs, so those would have probably gone on the kobold.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Jeff, I think that you really need to seriously consider your life choices. And I'm sure that you can spend your time in jail thinking of a way to better yourself so that by the time you get out, you can be something beneficial to society. Now, it's not all just about the coin, It's about what you can give back to the people that help you.
Yeah, he nods and says, yeah, if you say so.
All right, Jeff. Well, thanks for talking to me. I really appreciate it. I think you're a good cookie.
It's you and my mom, about the only ones who think so.
Well, I think
thanks.
you still
Kinda
have
like-
a long way up to go from here. You'll be just fine.
Embers raised the attentive hands. Heard that.
Yeah, he looks like, I mean, it might be the effects of the spell, but he looks genuinely touched by that.
Now, I want you to do me a favor, Jeff, and I want you to talk to your friends here and see if you can get them to come along with you and leaving the Brotherhood and turning over a new leaf and giving back to Port Horizon Shroud. Do you think you can do that?
A couple of them kind of like grumble or like spit on the ground, but like a couple of them seem to just be kind of like staring blankly. And Jeff just nods and says, yeah, I could do that. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, why not?
Yeah, I think that would be a great use of your talents, Jeff. You are a great talker.
Well, that's something
I
no
just kind
one's
of-
ever said of me, but thank you.
I kind of pat him on the shoulder and then I get up and brush my skirts off and say, all right, Torin, they're all yours.
Evans
All
will
right.
zoom out of the warehouse and land on Embers' shoulder. Shakily.
It happens.
Rook will also
Yeah.
land on Embers' shoulders.
All the snakes are gone now, Tuppence.
Why do they have to be snakes? That's twice.
If the group of you are then about ready to leave the warehouse, Torin starts to head off with his train of prisoners, and the group of you can walk together for a little ways, but then eventually your paths will have to diverge as Torin heads off to the warden barracks, and the group of you head back to the mill house, assuming that's where you want to go back to.
Should we deliver the
Yeah.
case first to Squall?
Yeah. Also, how do you?
Did we find the
Mm-mm.
things in the pile? So it's just an empty
Yeah.
case that
So
we're delivering?
I think when
No,
Rook,
it's got 4 of the 6
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
files, basically.
I think when Rook joins everybody outside, he would ask, like, we're still missing 2 of those items. Should we look? I mean, we can come back. I mean,
Well, I can send something in through the rest of the warehouse to check it out, see if they can find something.
okay.
Quickly.
If we want to do it that way.
Aren't there guards still out here? We better be quick.
I think we took care of all the guards.
Yeah, I mean, we can go hang out on the roof or something if you want, but find a safe place to hide.
Well,
Or-
I can help whoever you send in there. I can fly around real quick. Take a peek if you want.
Embers nods and says, take the time you need. It's good to be sure about these things, but we have 2 ringleaders of the plot and 2 missing files.
And chances are that they're not here right now.
Yeah. How do you spell? You said Nashura? Is that?
Kushura?
Kashura.
Kashura.
KSHURA. Kashura.
And scorch or smolder?
Oh, sorry. Did I say scorch? I meant smolder.
You said scorch, but I had a
Ah.
feeling you might mean smolder.
I did mean smolder. That's my bad.
Is
Scorch
Kashura
is a cool name for a genasi, though.
was that implied that she's the UNT woman, or was that
Yes.
not? Okay. Got it.
What I gathered.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, I got a name anyway.
Yeah, I think Rook
From
would
that.
just say, yeah, if you guys can check it out, then Embers and I can station out here, keep a lookout.
How do you feel about spiders, Tuppence?
Fine. No
All right.
worries.
All right. This is the other question. Is Tuppence small enough for a spider to ride on her back? Like piggyback? I mean, is she big enough that a spider wouldn't be too big for?
I'd say a
to ride on?
spider probably could ride on her back. I
Like
mean,
a
they're both
backpack
technically
type
tiny.
size?
Yeah, they're both technically tiny creatures, but I think Tuppence is big enough that a spider
Well, like
could.
a medium
Definitely
creature, I
strong
guess,
enough.
could piggyback a medium
yeah.
creature. So
Mhm.
yeah, that makes sense.
Touch
Okay,
carried two
then I
spiders.
will use my remaining wild shape to summon another spider. Like I did before. Oh
Mhm.
gosh.
Little icicle legs.
Yep. And I will summon it in my hands, and I will lift my hand up to Tuppence and let it crawl up onto Tuppence's back.
Hey,
Okay.
little guy, you ready to fly around?
And then I will go with Rook and Embers to find a place to hide.
Okay. With the group of you who are outside, make stealth checks, I guess,
Sure.
just in case.
Sure.
How
What?
did Rook do?
9.
9 embers.
11.
And Elwyn,
4.
4. Okay.
Really stealthy.
So you guys think you found some pretty decent hiding spots in an alley behind like a dumpster. You feel pretty well hidden.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't mean to step on what the others are doing, but I think Embers is going to take this opportunity to take out that letter and read it.
yeah. So what you had was a book and a parcel, and there is actually a letter attached to the parcel.
Mhm.
If that's what you want to read.
Yeah, that's the thing I want to read.
Okay.
But we can do the other people first.
Yeah. So let's do Tuppence first. And I just love the image of Elwyn's spider zooming around on Tuppence's
Well,
back. I feel like it's
I
really
also
cute.
will say that, I mean, maybe this goes without saying, but as soon as we find a place, I'm going to do the thing where I look through the spider's eyes.
Mhm.
So I'm with Tuppence in the consciousness of the spider.
Yeah, I
Right.
think like Rook can keep his hands like on Ellen's shoulders or something, and like kind of just make sure that she knows
Yeah.
that.
She'll take a minute to be like, all right, well, I'm gonna go look with Tuppence so I won't be able to see or hear, but just smack me on the shoulder or something if something
Yeah, I got
happens.
you.
All right?
Yeah, I got you.
Thanks.
And then can I roll perception while we're
Yeah.
on the lookout, sort of, just to make sure?
You roll
What-
that.
One
and
person
we'll
who's on the
do-
lookout should actually be on the lookout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You roll that, and I will do. We'll talk about what Tuppence and
Mhm.
Elwyn see inside.
Sure.
It seems like any other cultists or other sentient creatures that might have been patrolling the warehouse have pretty much cleared out based on the sounds of violence. So it's possible there might have been more creatures here to begin with, but they are gone now. Presumably out a back door, the entrance on the other side of the building. There's a number of larger cages that seem to hold creatures. Some of them. There's actually a lot of cages and crates kind of littering this warehouse. A lot of the cages seem to be empty, and the cages are also coming in very, very like various sizes. Some of them are tiny, some of them are sort of medium sized, and some of them are actually quite large. And of those cages, you see some that hold more of those like strange chicken creatures, and then a variety. One that holds one of those like monkey creatures that you saw, the psychic monkeys that kind of like ran through the streets. And then a couple creatures that you haven't seen before, There's these weird, like, half spider, half bird type creatures in one of the cages. And in one of the cages, there is this massive, like, white furred boar creature. And then finally, and there's also a large cage with like with like ice coating it, and like spreading out across the floor underneath it, that contains what looks like tiny miniature ice dragons. But the most interesting cage is probably, there's one that seems to house a kobold that is just kind of like hunched up against the bars in a corner of the cage. And the kobold seems to spot Tuppence flying through the room and says, "Psst, psst, hey, you there."
Okay, I'll fly.
Maybe that's not the
over.
voice. Hold on, let me double check the details on this kobold. No, that's not the voice. It says, "Psst, hey, you there."
Well,
Hi,
that makes all the difference.
Yep.
how'd you wind up in here?
The Brotherhood, they put me in. Who are you, might I ask?
My name's Tuppence. Who are you?
My name's Turka. Who do you work for? I saw what you did, the group of you. You're very accomplished.
Well, we're called the Silver Seekers. And we're trying to figure out what all this mess is about. Have you heard anything?
Oh, I know a good number of things. I take it you're no friend of theirs, then? Perhaps you
No.
could let me out.
Well, insight check.
Sure.
Me too.
Let's see.
How did Elwyn do?
Where is it? Oh, there it is.
I was gonna wait to see what Tuppence did.
I got
Oh.
a 14.
That's pretty good.
14.
Okay. Both of you can clearly tell that this creature, this kobold, wants out of the cage that they're in. Seems to be a female kobold, so she wants out of the cage that she's in. It's pretty obvious to you that she was locked in here, must have been by the Brotherhood. And when she says she knows a good number of things, she does seem to be telling the truth about that.
Okay, I'm going to make a split decision and decide to trust her and see if I can open the lock.
Okay. You guys probably could have confiscated keys from one of the Brotherhood cultists, so it's easy enough if you go back and grab those keys and mess around to try and find the one that unlocks this specific cage among all the other cages. So it probably takes a few minutes of fumbling with keys, but you do manage to get the lock open, and she kind of timidly steps out and she says, "I've never seen a creature like you, but I've heard of fairies."
Yeah, we're pretty special. I enjoyed being one, but hey, we're looking for these little spheres to have you seen them use any of them? They have like liquid kind of stuff inside of them.
Like water balloons.
Yeah, like water balloons. They know what a balloon is.
She says, "No, but I know what you're talking about. And unfortunately, I think it's my fault that they have them."
Uh-oh. Okay, did you work for Squall?
She kind of shakes her head. "No, I don't know who that is. But I did hear what they were planning to obtain. You see, I work for the governor. I've been a spy among the Brotherhood for her for, well, at least the past year. They've been becoming more and more active, and I really shouldn't be telling you all of this, but it's, if that's what you're here for, I guess you deserve to know anyways. So, well, they got out of me that I was working for Nyasa, but I didn't tell them anything more than that. When they realized that she was onto their actions in the city, I think they got a bit worried and began to plot some more drastic actions."
Okay. Did you see Torin? Do you know Torin? Grinworm?
She shakes her head. Who's that?
Okay, he's an Imperial Warden. I just thought,
Oh, was he the big white-scaled dragonborn who was here?
Yeah. So if
He
you
looked
want
tough.
if you want to go with him, he's taking the prisoners back.
I think he's already kind
And-
of headed off into the city at this point, but
Oh, okay. Well, come on with us. We'll make sure you're safe and you get back safe.
oh, well, if it's all the same to you, I would rather go directly from here to Horizon Shroud Citadel, or Harbor Watch Citadel, rather, and report back to the governor.
Okay.
She needs to know what they're up to. And I've missed my last few reports because they've had me caged. I'm sure she's worried.
Okay. Well, just tell her the Silver Seekers are trying to help.
Will she know who that is?
Oh, I'm sure she's heard of us by now. I strum my lip.
Yeah. Turka nods and says, "Okay, well, I'll tell her."
Okay. Bye. Good luck.
And she ducks out of that back entrance to the warehouse, just as fast as her little kobold legs will carry her.
Okay. Yay. All right. So still scanning for anything else important.
Lots of crates. The crates seem to be filled, a lot of them with various like types of food, or like I guess more like food for these creatures. So not like anything edible for humanoids or anything like that. And then a lot of the cages are empty, but those that still have creatures in them, yeah, you can see like there's that big boar creature. There's a couple that seem to contain doppelrats. There's some of those chicken creatures, one of those monkey creatures. And yeah, in the corner, there's that big cage containing the little ice dragons.
And we pretty much looked all in the office, so I don't need to go back in there. But what about that corner where it looks like there's water?
That's the cage with the ice dragons.
Oh,
and
yeah, the ice dragon.
They're kind of like icing up the floor around them and also the cage itself.
Okay, so I'll head back out. And Ellen saw everything, I guess, and heard everything, so I don't have to worry about informing him.
I'm probably mumbling to the others giving like a commentary of like, oh, there's a kobold in one of those cages. Oh, she's a spy for the governor. Like that kind of stuff, very quietly.
Rook, would you
Because
make?
I think this whole time Embers has been like, ask her this, not realizing that like Ellen can't hear her.
Which
That's
is
funny.
funnier because I did definitely say it before I swapped. Right? But I was talking to Rook as you were like taking your letter out or whatever. So.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to do something, Ethan?
Yeah, what was your perception check?
18.
18.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you spot sort of right when you get to your hidden position in the alleyway, you spot a couple buildings over a figure on top of one of the roofs of one of the buildings. That same figure that you saw kind of stalking you earlier.
Oh no.
With the dark hood, dark green leather armor, and then the breastplate of metal.
I grabbed Xant's scope.
You said an 18?
Yeah.
18's pretty good. I'd say this time you noticed something you didn't notice before, because before there was a bit more distance and also probably like sun in your face or something like that. This time you catch more than a glint of the breastplate. You get actually a pretty decent look of it. And with your intuition about, metals and things like that you have, you recognize it's clearly the same type of metal as that liquid metal that you received in a package.
Okay. Are there any like emblems or anything I would recognize, or any other no
I don't think
insignias
so.
or anything? Okay.
But the figure clearly notices you, noticing them, and ducks out of the way. Like they duck out of sight.
Get back here!
Yep.
Dang it. Okay, I think Rook also ducks out of the way too when they notice them noticing him.
Mhm.
He's like, "Oh shoot!" And like kind of in a panic, like starts like breathing a little bit more, shuttered breaths. He's like, "That was them."
Yeah, and then Embers, you wanted to pop open the letter?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I haven't proofread this since I wrote it forever ago. Hopefully it's still good. You open this
Maybe
letter.
Megan just isn't a great conversationalist.
You open up the letter, and you kind of unfurl the paper. There's just sort of like a single sheet of paper in there. And as you look at it, you probably would have seen Marimus's writing before, and you recognize his handwriting. So this letter seems to be from him, and it reads, "Dearest Embers, I'm sorry that I cannot speak my last words to you in person, but my final trip to the penitentiary seems to have extracted quite the toll on this old body of mine. Even so, I believe with all my heart that these words will reach you eventually, and I pray that they will help illuminate your path. You see, there is something that I never told you in all of my visits, but when I was a boy, I had a vision of a woman who the world had continually cast aside. In the vision, I saw a multitude of different futures for this woman, each shaped by her choices and decisions. While some of them did end in tragedy, one thing was clear throughout. Whenever the woman chose to extend a hand of forgiveness and compassion to the world that had so often wronged her, then, and only then, was she capable of doing incredible good for it. As a boy, I never knew what to make of this vision, and to tell you the truth, I had all but forgotten it by the time we met. But from the first time I saw you, I knew that you were the woman I saw all that time ago. I tell you this now, so that you know what I have known all along. Your life has been difficult, and you will face more tribulations in the future. But how you respond is your choice, and what you decide will shape the futures of many. It is a heavy burden, I know, but it is my sincerest desire that you find the strength to bear it. For whatever it's worth, I have faith in you, Ambers. I always have, and I always will. And then it is signed, "Until we meet again, Marimus."
I think Ember's like sniffs a little bit and folds it up very carefully and puts it very carefully with her things.
Yep. And then other than that, you just have the small parcel and the book, which as you kind of look at the book, you can at least see what is on its spine. It says, "Miria's Manual of Intermediate Martial Arts, a treatise on the energies of life and light."
I'll put that away to look at later.
Yep. And then I think Tuppence probably rejoins the group.
You're
You're
muted.
muted. It's funny to watch you like gesturing and knowing that you're doing something super cute and not being able to hear it.
Just gonna say, using Mage Hand to scoop up the spider and hand it back to Elwyn and say, "Bye, little guy."
Ah, thank you. I put the
Kind of
spider.
clicks its little icy mandibles.
How is everyone looking health wise?
I'm good. I don't think I took any damage.
Am I the only one who took damage?
No, I
I'm
took-
down. I'm down. I think like 2. is
I
all.
took some from the big whirlwind fist attack thing,
Torin took a beating.
but he's not here, right? He
Torin's
left?
not here
No,
though.
yeah, he's gone.
Rook's like, I'm fine.
Okay.
Torin
we
got back on his second wind. Embers is full HP, so I don't want to hear about how bad Torin was hurt.
Yeah, I mean, he recovered quite a bit, but he was hurt. He was down to like 2 hit points before he did that. So
He took a
What
critical hit.
what time of day is it? What's the plan? Are we just gonna go?
it
back
is getting
to...
on to evening at this point. The
Time to
sun
go
is
back to the mill
probably
house and turn in for the evening then.
Should we stop by
Do
the?
you want to have this case with us? I'd rather get rid of that.
We might want to stop
John.
by
Yeah.
and drop
Oh,
it off.
that's right. Yeah, let's go turn that back in and then head back.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Since we're down in the docks anyway, right? It's the
Yeah.
same area.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll stop by the highest bid on the way home.
Yeah. You know that Brucka and Squall leave for the night at some point, but it's probably not that late yet, so they should still be there. You make your way over there, and you can see there are lights on inside, and as you kind of walk in, you can see that the auction space is all set up, and Squall is actually on stage. There's a group of like well-dressed individuals crowding the auction space. And hold on, I need just like some kind of trinket that Squall can be auctioning off here, or an art object. Hold on.
How
Let's,
exciting.
I can't find them fast enough. Treasure tables, that'll have art objects. Would someone roll for me a...
Oh, me. Ooh, me.
All right. I was just about to do it too.
Me.
I saw Zach lean way in as soon
Oh,
as
I
someone
was
said-
so ready.
Yeah.
I was like, here we go.
Someone
ahead.
roll for me a d10. Zach, you can also roll one
Oh, okay.
if you want.
Yes, I do. What'd you get, Kay?
6.
7.
6. Okay.
Stop copying me. 6, 7, 8, 9.
Right. He says, sold! And the silk robe with gold embroidery goes to the gentleman down in front. Next up, we have check out this tapestry. Look at the embroidery on this thing. This would go wonderfully in anyone's manor. That I can say with certainty. And it is just this like totally ostentatious, like horrible looking tapestry.
I lean towards Embers as we walk up, and I'm like, oh, the man knows how to work an audience.
Let's start the bidding at 250 gold pieces. Do I have 250 gold pieces? And a couple hands go up.
He does indeed, but that's a horribly made tapestry.
But yeah, he starts auctioning it off.
Does it matter?
starting at 250. You can see that Braca is leaned against a wall, keeping an eye on the entire proceedings, and she's definitely clocked you coming in. And she kind of like gives you a nod.
Yeah, and Rook nods back.
I look at Embers and raise my eyebrows. Wiggle,
Color-
wiggle, wiggle.
The colors are bold, but the stitching just seems so amateurish.
Rook is gonna try and like motion his head to like one of the rooms that they used before interrogation. Like, can we go over? Can we use that room? Can we wait in there for you?
Is one of you visibly carrying the case, or is it stowed away in like a backpack?
I think Embers has got it still.
Okay. Then yeah, she gives you a nod and then just like motions with her head in that direction, like go on ahead.
Okay, so Rook
Yeah.
will say, "Let's go, guys."
All right, I'll follow.
And then you watch as she kind of like makes eye contact with Squall and just like taps the tip of her nose. And Squall Squall was his name, right? I'm not wrong. Am I
Yeah.
going
Yes,
crazy?
yes.
Suddenly I was like, is that the right name? Oh no.
It's Scorch.
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 He goes by
It's
Scorch. He was
Um,
the villain all along.
Shoot, yeah. She makes eye contact with him, gives him a signal, and he very quickly begins to wrap up the bidding, speaking faster and faster and faster. Eventually,
Can you do that
this.
for us? No, just kidding. Oh, also, while we're waiting, I wanted to start thumbing through that serpent skin notebook.
Oh yeah, of course. You can hear he's wrapping up like that bid and then a couple more, and then it seems like he's trying to draw the whole proceeding to a close.
I'm gonna hunt around. Are we in the same room that he brought us to where he like served us tea and stuff before?
No, that was like an upstairs sitting area.
This is
one
like
of
the
the
interrogation
rooms.
room.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's really
never mind
more
then.
of like a a storage space that you were using as an interrogation room. Like, obviously he doesn't have a built-in interrogation room, but yeah. You can hear him trying to wrap up the auction outside while Rook opens up this. It's like a green snakeskin bound journal or book of some sort.
Okay. Yeah, so he starts carefully sort of thumbing through and reading
Okay.
anything important or whatever.
You open it up and you are greeted by
Oh no.
a kind of
Think
small,
snake comes
narrow,
out.
fine
Language.
handwriting
Oh, okay.
in a language you don't understand,
Oh,
but you
shoot.
recognize it at this point.
Of
It
course,
is
Draconic.
Draconic. And as your heart starts to sink, realizing you don't speak this language, you hear something in the back of your head. Now that is a problem.
Close
And
the book.
it's the same voice from your dream the previous night when the black
Oh, okay.
void rose up
Never
and
mind.
took your form and then spoke to you. I can help with that, you know.
Can I communicate with this thing just by thinking, or is it like, do I have
Do you want to try?
Yeah, sure, I'll try.
What do you think back?
He will think, gosh, I wasn't ready for this at all. Why should I even trust you? Who are you? What are you? I thought you were just a bad dream.
No, I think that I can be a very good dream for you, Vertinor. Rest assured, I have your best interests at heart. For your best interests are my best interests. Open the book again.
Rook will kind of just like, his eyes will kind of scan the room while he's thinking, just like kind of blankly, but then he's like, then he opens the book again.
Okay. When you open it up, you understand. You read and suddenly can read and speak Draconic.
Okay, shoot.
Yep.
Is this just a temporary thing, or is it just like while he's helping me?
Guess we'll find out.
Okay, sure. So I guess I start reading the book.
See, Vertinor. Already a fruitful partnership.
Yeah, we'll see how long this lasts.
The voice doesn't respond after that. As you begin to read the book, you can understand the language, but you start to realize it's in a code or cipher of some sort.
Okay. Can I break
Can you make
that?
a
Yes.
let's see. I think investigation or insight or something like that.
I believe that if it's from the linguist feat, which I never got to use this, but I think it's like an intelligence check.
Oh, is that part of the linguist feat?
Mm-hmm. You can make a written cipher, and I'm like, hey, we should do that for our bag of holding. Everyone's like, nah, just don't lose it. I'm like, okay, never mind. I like never ever got to use it, and I'm like, oh dang.
Yeah, succeed on an intelligence check.
So is that okay if I roll that, or?
Yep, works for me.
Okay. Can I use guidance?
If someone is guiding you.
Oh, do I need? It's the
He
spell.
guides himself.
Yeah.
That's his.
Oh,
spell.
that's right.
Yeah.
Then yeah, sure,
Okay.
go for it.
Or I mean, are you saying I can get help too?
No one else can read
Right.
Draconic, so
Yeah, that
you're
makes
kind of on your
sense.
own here.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good though. Let's see. That is a +4, so that is a 18.
18. That is pretty good.
Yeah.
You don't fully break the code, but you begin to, after kind of skimming through it for a little while, you quickly begin to recognize patterns and figure out little bit by little bit how this code works. I need to go back to my note to see what you learn with an 18.
For some reason, I thought you were gonna say little bar by little bar, and I was like, oh yes.
So I have a scale set up for this based on your check to see how much you get.
Okay.
Where is it?
Maybe I'll put it in here, actually.
Ah, here we go. So let's see. You find a section of the book that talks about plans for this caravan attack, and they're actually pretty thoroughly detailed there. You find out, number one, the location of the attack, where it's going to be.
Mm.
Number two, the time and date planned for the attack. And the reason for releasing the monsters in the city. And I will explain all of these in a second. I just want to tell you what all you're going to learn. You also learn about how Governor Nyasa is involved in this plot, like what her involvement is. And finally, you learn what it is they're trying to steal. So we'll take those one at a time. First of all, you learn that this attack is going to happen at a point about half a day's travel north of the city, between Horizon Shroud and a warden checkpoint along one of the main trade roads.
You said at a checkpoint? Or by a checkpoint?
Between a checkpoint and Horizon Shroud.
Oh, okay, I see. Between...
And so you get basically information about where that would be. You learn that their intent behind releasing the monsters in the city is to draw the attention of the wardens, because wardens from Port Horizon Shroud are supposed to go and relieve the wardens traveling south from the capital of Sergil, a city called Fymir, Fymyr, and basically take over guarding the shipment from them. And if the guards do not come to relieve the ones from the capital basically by protocol will have to continue the journey, and they will be exhausted and in a weakened state. What's the next thing you learn? I lost track of it in my note.
Time of attack?
Right. The time of the attack is supposed to happen around sunset on the 20th of this month. Today is the 17th. And all of the monsters should be done being released in the city by the 19th, with a large wave of them being released around that time specifically to create a large amount of chaos. So the plan is to cause chaos to keep the wardens busy so that they can't embark to relieve the other wardens. And finally, you
Governor's
learn...
involvement and what the Brotherhood's trying to steal. Two more things.
Right. The governor's involvement, you already kind of learned from the kobold spy. She had implanted a spy within the Brotherhood because she noticed they'd been more active in the city. And when the Brotherhood discovered the spy, they imprisoned and attempted to interrogate her. But all they were able to get out of her was that she worked for Governor Nyasa. And so the Brotherhood doesn't know what Nyasa will do or how much information she has. But because of that, and because Nyasa is a powerful warrior, they realized they had to take some extra precautions and set out on this extra venture to obtain a weapon in the form of Dragon's Breath. Scorch. Oh, now I'm self-conscious. Was that the right name? Scorch? No.
Smolder.
No.
Smolder.
It's canon now, though.
No, it's not.
You said it more than Smolder.
Smolder will be staying in the city to essentially keep tabs on Governor Nyasa, and if she makes a movement, he's going to engage and attempt to kill her. Meanwhile, the UNT woman, Kashura, will be leading the attack on the caravan.
Okay.
So that's Nyasa's involvement.
Okay.
And finally, what the caravan is carrying is a shipment of dragon eggs that originally belonged to the Empire, but were captured by the free states of Ardelir, Vogma, and some of the others, and were missing for a long time, but were recovered during the recapturing or the capturing of those states when they joined the Empire. And so now the dragon eggs are being shipped south to Port Horizon Shroud, and then a Imperial Warden ship is going to sail them up the coast to the capital.
Okay.
And so this sort of weakened state of the Imperial Wardens was determined to be the best point to attempt to steal those eggs.
Wow.
You think there's more information in this book, but that's all you learn. The final thing that you do find is that on some of the pages, there seems to be a symbol that has been drawn. And Zach, I need you to show our stream
this
something.
is the thing. Let's see it. Hang on. Ha. Ooh.
I will get it up so that I can show the rest of you.
Ah,
Hold on. Our viewers are seeing it before you.
via Discord, maybe, so you don't mess with the.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You shouldn't share your
I
screen.
will upload it to Discord.
Somehow I managed to never see this thing.
Yeah, Zach, I don't know
Oh,
how you
right,
put that
right,
on
I
the
forgot about
stream
this.
without.
I uploaded and everything, and I was like, I think this is what covering my eyes and stuff. I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to know.
Here we go. There you go. I've uploaded it. So it is a symbol
Ooh.
that seems to be, in general, a draconic head, but it has this third eye in the center and runes carved into sections of the face. And then the face culminates not in teeth like you would expect from a draconic form, but in these almost like strange appendages or something like that, tendrils almost. And yeah, there's this weird symbol drawn in a few places, but you can't quite find the meaning of the symbol within the journal with the roll that you made.
I'm trying to unsee what I originally saw, which is that the little, like, the nose and whisker things were like arms and legs. And I was like, what is that thing? Now I see the dragon now. That's cool.
I saw what you saw.
Yeah,
It
I
looks
was like,
some
he's
kind
like
of,
some
like,
dude, like, whoa.
creature.
Yeah. I was like, what is that thing?
Oh no.
This one-eyed thing. I'm like, I don't know what it is.
No, I see the dragon now. I promise.
Yeah, I definitely see the dragon.
And yeah, eventually Squall comes into the room in a bit of a huff because he's just wrapped up his auction and then basically dashed over here. Braca is hot on his heels. He comes into the room straightening his bow tie that he's wearing today, adjusting his monocle. Well, I did not expect to see the group of you back so soon, but, well, I'll be damned if I'm not pleased. Baraka says she spotted the case on you when you came in. Let me see it.
Good news and bad news on that. And Embers hands over the case.
Yeah, you should probably not be too excited just yet.
Oh, I don't like the sounds of
You
that.
should be 2/3 excited.
Lady Elwyn, what do you mean by this?
Well, just open it and take a look.
All right, he sets it on the table and kind of flips open the lid, pulls like a handkerchief out of his pocket and holds it up to his mouth as he's kind of there in astonishment. Oh no, that's not good.
Yeah, well, that's the bad news. But the good news is we might know where to find the other two, and we don't believe they've been used yet.
That is indeed good news. I believe this is the point in our arrangement where we might have to negotiate upwards your fee because, well, you've returned to me in part, but I assume it gets more dangerous from here on out? He kind of raises an
Most
eyebrow.
definitely.
For sure.
Most definitely.
Well, I think that something like that could perhaps, it could certainly be arranged. Most of my monetary wealth is, well, it's tied up in the sense that it is monitored by government agencies, which is why I find it difficult to pay you in coin. But perhaps there's some items from my collection that I can supplement the deed with, if that would be amenable to you.
I don't think that sounds very generous. We don't have to make that decision right now, but just the offer, having the offer on the table is enough, I think. And I look around at the rest of the group to see if they agree with what I'm saying.
Yeah, if there's more snakes involved, we might have to renegotiate.
My gods, there were snakes involved.
Yeah.
With lots of hands.
Yeah, it was a very strange, exotic magic creature.
Well, now this sounds both terrible and fascinating. I would love to hear more. Would you have a moment to regale me of your adventure to recover this case?
Do you want to come for dinner over at the mill house? Where we can sit and relax and get food?
We haven't eaten all day.
glances over at Braca and
Hungry.
says, I'm quite hungry. I don't know about you, Braca, but what do you think? Sounds like an excellent evening to me. And Braca kind of gives Embers a quick side look and says, yeah, sure, sounds fine.
We're bringing home all of our favorite NPCs. That's
Yep.
what's happening here.
Would you like to stay with us too?
No.
It's like we have a list of like the NPCs. Have they been to the mill house or not? Have we brought
Yeah.
them home with us yet or not?
The next one is that kobold that you saw at the market that you really like the stuff of.
Yes.
Bring him into.
We will get him.
Yeah, and Scorch. We gotta get Scorch too. Whoever they
Scorch
are.
doesn't exist.
They
It's
will
all
soon.
about the dinner meetings. The dinner meetings.
Yeah,
At,
so-
at the mill house.
No, that sounds like a lovely idea. And Nora's cooking is just so good. You will not be
I
disappointed.
confess, I've only been to the mill house on very few occasions when I need to put in, well, job offers such as this. So I've never had the pleasure, but Braca does tell me that the food and drink there is of a superior quality. So I would be delighted if you would have me.
Absolutely. Let's go. What are we waiting for?
Great, I'm starved.
If you would just give me a little bit longer to close things up here. Braca and I have a few arrangements to make. We'll need to secure this case in slightly more, well, secure fashion than it was before. We've made arrangements in preparation for this very time. So, Braca, if you would come with me, we'll go make those final preparations, and we won't keep you waiting long, I promise.
All right. We'll see you there.
Okay. Yeah. He and Braca go off to lock away the case and sort of close up the auction house for the night, leaving it in the hands of the night security, which seems to have been beefed up. There's a lot more. You see some new faces, people who you didn't interview. And yeah, the group of you will, I guess, make your way off to the mill house.
Scanning the rooftops. Do I see any followers or anything?
Make a perception check.
I will. Come on. That's pretty good. 17 plus 4, 21.
As far as you can tell, you're not being followed for the moment, but you hear in the back of your head, "That's a good instinct, Vertinor.
Oh, God, this guy.
I don't know who it is who's following you. And until we find out, we must be wary." And I think that's probably a good place to end tonight's episode.
I had a feeling you were going to say that. Oh my
So, yeah.
gosh.
Lots happened.
That was good. Yeah. Got a lot done.
So much information.
Yeah, that was a good
You
roll
guys.
to decipher the journal.
Oh, my hand
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
note taking.
Ah, we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to get food first. That was a long story.
Well, we'll pick up with more of that Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. So thank you all for playing. Thank you to everyone who tuned in to watch. And I hope we see you back again next time. Have a good night. Bye.
Uh,
Bye.
Bye.